Hello.
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 Hey.
What's up?
I was caught in a tilt. That's all.
Were
no
you?
big deal.
Were you actually?
I was. I was like,
Are you sure?
way over
Oh,
here.
okay, yeah. Okay.
When you edit, you're gonna see me like
You're right.
hanging.
Trying to make sure I don't hit. Oh my god, I'm trying to get my notes open. Anyway, but
Wow.
hello. I'm trying to reorganize, man. Come on. Welcome. This is episode 35 of the NgoVo Convo podcast, where two stupids make it right.
Hype.
I tried to throw you off. Dang it.
I was like, hype.
It's one of those days. You're like, huh?
Huh?
But I'm on your host, Harrison O, and I'm joined by Veronica Vo.
It's me.
This way.
It's me.
But if you're new here, we just want an excuse to talk about anything that ranges from anime to comics. Some would say conversing.
Wow. NgoVo Convo. NgoVo Convo. It's like
Nice.
it's in our logo or something.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
in our logo
Like
right over here.
in our
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But why else do we talk about?
Because
What else is our excuse, Veronica?
one of our friends, our lovely, lovely friends, just can't seem to keep up with this podcast, with shows, with anything really. So, this podcast is dedicated to him
We
for
really
whenever
let him-
he catches up.
Yeah. We let him know, too. We're like, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
We talked about it. He's like,
Yeah.
why? Stop it. We're like, no, never.
Never.
But other than that, you can watch every episode on youtube.com or listen to it as a podcast by searching up NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. In this episode, we're going to talk about our favorite Spider-Man. Man, our favorite Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Out of all
Favorite
the Spider-Man, this is weird. But, well, specifically, we want to talk about the movie version. So we're kind of leaving it to, we're not like, because there'd be too many if we did like TV shows and like different versions in the comics.
Yeah.
So this is mainly our way of like trying to like kind of hype ourselves up for No Way Home.
Which is coming out December 17th.
Oh, I can't wait. That is hype. That is trying not to lower my expectations, but super hype. Absolutely hyped.
So hype that every movie theater website broke at like 11 p.m. Central Time the night before Cyber Monday.
Yeah, boo. It sucked.
It's
Trying to
not
get
like I knew
tickets.
that or anything and stayed up for an extra 2 hours to get these tickets. But
I mean, I did.
I
We were
mean,
we were
panicking.
We were panicking.
We were.
Because we have a schedule and we're like, Spider-Man has to happen.
But then the friend that is not caught up on anything was the GOAT. And actually got
tickets.
tickets for us.
He copped tickets. So
He did.
can't give him that much crap. But
Not this time.
not this time. But let's get into it. So I guess spoiler warning for any of the so we're gonna talk about here, let me open up your notes, Veronica. Your notes.
Wow. Yes,
I'm giving
my
you
notes.
credit. So big ones are we're gonna focus on the big movie ones. I'm gonna throw in another one later as a surprise, but we're gonna focus on Tobey Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and Tom Holland specifically.
Oh yeah.
So any of those movies, so Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, Sam Raimi versions, we're gonna talk about that possibly. We're not gonna talk super in depth. We're just talking about like what we liked about each one, blah blah, all that stuff.
Yeah. Iconic
Andrew
scenes,
Garfield's-
etc. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and then
But no 3?
Spider-Man, but no 3, and then Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, and I'd love to talk about No Way Home, but that's next time.
That's next
That
time.
is next.
We could
time.
spoiler with like trailer stuff, so we can.
Yeah.
talk
Well,
about,
yeah,
you know.
because a lot of these. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
So-
point. So, I guess let's just. You know what? Let's just talk about each one first, and then at the end we just kind of give. Do you want to do a definitive one, or you just want to, or you just want to? Let's just go down each one first.
No, we should go down.
Yeah, let's just go down each one. So, the first. There's been other ones. I know there was an older one than Toby. That was a
there
movie.
is. Yeah.
I forgot about. It was like
80s
the
or 90s or something.
Yeah, I think 80s. But we're gonna focus more on the ones that like, because I think this Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire like popped off. This is one of the big debut movies for comic related movies, if anything, a comic book movie. I think this was one of the movies that everyone would watch. Like, it was the one that everyone had to go watch and see.
I remember watching this with my parents.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. And then I remember like watching this, and this is every kid wanted to watch but it's like not just kids, but like parents loved it because they knew Spider-Man.
Older siblings, like a lot of people knew who Spider-Man was or is, and so I guess it was like, Spider-Man came out in 2002. Oh my gosh, it's like 20 years ago, and like we didn't have a lot of.
There weren't the
comics anything Marvel related.
Besides X-Men, I think X-Men came out at that point.
Hulk, I guess. Hulk was coming out around this time too. But like nothing
but
solid.
Like, X-Men was like the big group one, but X-Men was like the other popular one, but Spider-Man was the next biggest. Yeah, the next solo big thing. The big one of the bigger solo superhero movies. So,
I had a huge crush on James Franco as a kid.
It's like, so funny to see how he is now.
Because, but now I'm like, that's a disgusting man, and that ain't it. He ain't it.
Man, it's too bad.
I do like Dave Franco though. Dave Franco's cool. His little brother. Yeah. I could have a crush on him, just not on James Franco. He's a little weirdo. but as a kid, I'm gonna show my age. As like a 9-year-old kid, I was like, heck yeah, James Franco, you're cute.
Like, super cute.
Super cute.
Yeah, man, this is really good because I remember watching it. It was really easy to follow along.
It didn't feel like Marvel-esque. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it felt like there's obviously a huge focus on Spider-Man, on Peter Parker, but I think Tobey Maguire did. It was one of the first, or was it first? At that time, it was like the most recent origin stories for a superhero, right?
Again, this was like around the same time as the Hulk, but like the Hulk was like a couple years later.
The Hulk,
and we won't forget about. We'll forget about it.
Yeah, I try to.
But like, yeah, I think Tobey was very emotional as Spider-Man and Peter Parker as both. Yeah. So
I think it did a very good job in like essentially like trying to show the balance of being a hero, but also
being just like a normal kid.
Yeah. I forgot. He was in high school, right? In the first one?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
High school. He was just a good old high school kid.
Yeah.
He also, this one, he also had the Flash too. Flash was in Spider-Man.
Oh, Flash Thompson?
Yeah, Flash Thompson.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I was like, wait. Yeah. What? I thought you meant the actor.
Thompson.
I'm like, wait, which one? Wait, hold on.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one had Flash Thompson. I forgot, but that was cool. Green Goblin.
Yes.
Man, William Dafoe killed it. Like, this was like low key scary, but also like awesome to see like how
he was terrifying.
Yeah, like this essentially the schizophrenia that was happening was like. As a kid, it was creepy. As a kid, it was very scary.
Oh yeah. I rewatched some clips of Green Goblin, like in this Spider-Man, like Tobey Spider-Man. I was like, how did I survive this as a kid? This is scary.
I think watching it enough, I got used to it. But yeah, first couple times I watched it as a kid, I was like pretty scared. I was like, man,
I was like very scared. Spooky.
I think it was a very good, like as a kid, it was a good movie to see like a lot of action, see like a villain act the way he does. Like Green Goblin was like just as menacing.
The storyline of like Peter Parker turning into Spider-Man. Yeah,
but also having like some romance with Mary Jane, because this one was Mary Jane.
Yes.
Kirsten Dunst was
that upside down kiss. That's one iconic scene.
That was super iconic. It was memed on for a long time too.
Oh yeah, it was memed for like 10 years or something.
Yeah,
like I remember throughout middle school, everyone was like, "You want to do an upside down kiss?" Like.
Okay.
Okay.
Man, you're right though. You're not wrong. I think that was really good. I didn't think.
But now it's just like super iconic.
Yeah.
Like people like know the scene. Like you're just gonna have to say upside down kiss, and they're like, Spider-Man, Kirsten Dunst, Toby. like people
the
know it's crazy. And the rain, yeah.
In the rain, yeah. No, this is good. I think this is a very good like intro to Spider-Man. Like it bounced like a lot of because in this one, I think it didn't have that issue with Batman where like like Uncle Ben has to die, but it was like I think it's done well in this one. I think if anything,
Yeah, I think so. CGI was good for its time.
Was amazing for its time.
Yeah, for its time.
For its
now
time,
you
I was
look like
whoa.
now when we watch it, I'm sure I like yesterday I was just like, huh, this is interesting CGI.
It's dated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I like Spider-Man. My favorite one was Spider-Man 2, though. Spider-Man out of the for the Tobey Maguire ones, Spider-Man 2 was it. I was like, this is
There's
awesome.
some good memes out of that one.
Not wrong. Oh yeah. I forgot because we were talking about it. We mentioned it really quick. James Franco. Did you like his Harry Osborn in this one? Actually, or in both, in like just a Toby, like him as Harry Osborn.
Yes, I think because I like I do like James Franco as an actor. He's like very out there, like he gets really into his characters. I think him as Harry was really perfect, like kind of like the cocky rich boy type man that he is. Like it fits James and it works.
Yeah.
And I think he did a really good job for Harry.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I asked that because I think in 2 it's because he found out that Spider-Man was Peter.
Yeah. He captured him, or well, not
at the
captured
end
him.
at the end of 1 because 1 yes, because he was like he was like trying to, it was something about his dad, like Peter was trying to help his dad, but I forgot how he saw it, but he knew that he killed his dad.
Green Goblin, his dad.
Green Goblin killed his dad, or Spider-Man killed his dad.
Spider-Man, yeah. It was it was interesting. I do like Harry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious because I liked Harry in this one too, and I liked how like there was like that tug between Harry and Peter with their friendship and everything.
Yeah.
That was like being questioned, but then like Doc Ock was good in Doc Ock.
Oh gosh, he is so good.
Alfred Molina, right? Am I crazy?
I think so.
Did I say the name right?
His name that.
Wow, come on.
Wow. But Doc Ock is really good.
Names.
Yeah, me too.
No,
it's fine.
But no, Doc, man, like this was like one of the really good, like, it's like, because with Green Goblin, you're like, oh, he became psycho because like I forgot, did he get affected because of the gas, right?
Yeah. Yes. I think
so. But like Doc Ock had like this like the turn, like he went from like being Peter's like the guy that Peter looked up to become like the villain that he had to stop.
Like the villain, yeah.
But it was such a good arc. I think that was like, if I watched Spider-Man 2 like religiously as a kid, if anything.
It's good.
It was, yes.
And again, the memes are great.
They're still being used now.
They are.
Like the train scene.
That's probably the best meme just out there.
Like
he's just like
I forgot, they tried to recapture that moment again in Tom Holland's version, right? Or was it Andrew? I can remember which one.
I think it's Tom's.
I think it was Tom's, right?
I think it was Tom's.
But
they captured it well though.
It's
pretty funny.
But it's still like Spider-Man 2, like that moment was still like the coolest thing. And then like just seeing like how the people like protected him and everything, because they're like, oh, we'll protect Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah, they're like,
so
Peter who?
Yeah.
Peter where?
No, I think the arcs in that, like the character development and everything, given everything that we had, because that was when was Spider-Man with Mary Jane at that point? Like,
I think so.
Together, right?
I think they were together.
At the end of 1, they were like, oh, because she knew. I think at that point.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was 1 or 2. It's been that long. It's 2004.
I know. And again, CGI is really good for this movie too. Like all of Tobey's movies, CGI was great for its time.
For its time is awesome.
And I don't fault them for that.
No.
Like at all.
No,
but it has aged well. Like I'm rewatching some clips. I'm like, it's still pretty like standard. Like you can tell it's like from the early 2000s, and but you're just like, wow, all these memes came from these movies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, out of the three for Tobey Maguire, I think Spider-Man 2 is my favorite.
Too, yeah. That's a good one.
But I know Spider-Man 3 is your favorite because all
Absolutely
the right
not.
reasons. Because how many characters they were able to shove in, all the villains.
Wow,
The
Venom.
amount of there's some backstory to that. Like, anyway, but sorry, really quick. So they had Eddie Brock as Venom.
They had Sandman.
Because
in
it wasn't
there.
because it was usually Flash Thompson, I think. But in this one or I forgot which one. I forgot which one came. No, Flash was the second.
No, Flash was second. Yeah.
Flash was the second one. Because he became this Spec Ops Venom.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Eddie
Eddie
Brock.
Brock became, and then they had Sandman in here. No, yeah, okay, wait, no, see here it says James. You wrote down James Franco finds out Peter killed his father.
Yeah.
So that was 3 that he found out, not 2.
Oh yeah, 2 was when Harry found out Peter was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
3 was when he found out Peter killed his dad.
Yeah.
That's
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, we corrected that fast.
Yeah, I know, right?
Um.
How'd you feel about Venom? What did you think about Venom being like?
Okay, like as a kid, it looked cool. You know what? I loved the black suit. I thought the black suit for Spider-Man
It was cool on Tobey, right? It was
on
really cool
Tobey.
on Tobey.
It was cool.
Yeah.
But Venom itself, like now, it's kind of hard to say back then. I forgot how I felt back then. I was confused. Okay, I was confused why. As a kid, I was like, why are they focusing on Sandman? Because Venom's the big one. Like, because I watched the animated series like back then as a kid. So I was like, no, Venom's the bigger character. Why are they so focused on Sandman? Even though now I appreciate Sandman as a character in here because did you know like how Sam Raimi originally was trying to make Sandman the main dude?
Yeah.
The main villain. So, and then Venom was like, because I think
Like
Sony's
idea, right?
they're like, no, you have to have Venom. There was some ordeal, and then like Sam Raimi had to like shove in incorporate him, and that's why it's so back. It was such like a.
It's very rushed.
Yeah. It was very rushed.
It was very rushed.
And then, this is when it was an issue. This was the issue of they had too many villains to juggle, but not give enough time. Because you could tell he was trying to focus on Sandman, but then they made Harry become the Green Goblin, which in comic-wise is how it happens.
Yeah.
Or eventually it happens that way in some stories. So it made sense. But then it just felt kind of rushed too. Like it felt like, or if anything, maybe Harry was supposed to be like a quick thing and then helps, you know how he helped Spider-Man at the end? But it felt like there was too many battles going on. Like it felt
really did. And then like Toby or Peter Parker had to save Mary Jane and all that junk again. Yeah. It just felt like a lot was jam-packed into 3. Like I honestly do not remember 3 that much. I remember Venom, and then I remember Peter Parker being in the black suit, and then like that was basically it.
I remember that. I just remember being like, I remember the train scene with the Sandman at the bottom.
That was pretty cool.
That was cool
because Peter like really wanted to kill him in that scene.
Yeah,
like
actually
wanted to kill him
again. Like for those that haven't watched, he had Venom, but also he realized Sandman. He was the one that killed his uncle.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like over the 3 movies though. It was nice to know like everything was connected over time. So it was actually like it was really good in that aspect too. It was just nice, like because everyone was so invested. And then I don't know about you, but I played the games. I did not play the games. I played the games for 2 and 3 a lot.
Oh,
I think one of my cousins said the first one, but this is how I remember the stories that well because essentially they followed the main beats. Except,
really?
But then they added more stories. Like they included the other people in his rogue gallery, like literally everyone, like Kingpin, Mysterio. Yeah. So the 2 was the better one, obviously, because 3 was just like movie verbatim. They tried to like keep it.
Yeah.
Tight. But yeah. This is why like I heard Tobey was my Spider-Man for like the longest time. Because like
he is
I
our
played
Spider-Man.
he is. toys and all. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I had the toys.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was cool.
I had the toys.
I remember having the figure. I think the figure was 1 or 2. I think 2 was when they had this Spider-Man figure.
Oh
right.
yeah.
Let's switch. So that was like our quick thoughts on like each part. I like Tobey overall. I like Tobey Maguire. I think he was a very good Peter Parker, if anything.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was a really good Spider-Man as well.
He was a good Spider.
He was very like emotional.
Yeah.
Like
I think that was the other.
Emotional.
I think that was like when you start comparing to the other ones. Like it felt like he was very emotional, like almost crying all the time. Type deal. Yeah. But he kind of had to because he went through really bad stuff.
He went through a lot
of
shit.
But it was it's because every time you look at memes or you see like any big moments, he's always crying. He's crying.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna say that. I was like he's crying.
But like bawling, like
bawling.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. All right. Let's speed through Andrew Garfield. I didn't mean that in a bad way. Sorry, I meant to like I thought it was okay. Amazing Spider-Man 1 in 2012. So this was like from 2007 to 2012. We did not have a Spider-Man movie because at this point they recasted the Andrew Garfield.
They recasted it to Andrew Garfield.
I remember everyone loving his suit.
His suit's great.
Well, okay, like it actually looked cool, but then everyone's like, "Wait, he's just in that suit." Like Andrew Garfield's just in that suit, as in like I remember
living in that suit.
Everyone's like, "Look at his butt."
I know.
I was like, "Oh my god."
I also had a crush on Andrew Garfield. It was high school time.
Everyone did though.
Everyone did.
Was it high school or was it?
We were in high school. We were definitely in high school.
2012. We're in college.
Oh shit, we were in college.
I was like, you sure?
Wait, huh? Oh my god,
bro.
Oh.
Andrew Garfield was like the Spider-Man in college for us. He was the Spider-Man for us in college.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
Please don't guess our age.
I mean.
No.
So the big thing I remember was. Okay, but I did so.
I'm editing now, so I can insert butt.
Butt. Garfield booty.
The Garfield booty.
So big thing is Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man. The love interest in this one was Gwen Stacy.
Yes,
which I thought was really good. Emma Stone, perfect, awesome. I loved it. She's
great. She's great. And then Dane DeHaan.
I forgot how to say his name, but yeah, he was the Harry Osborn.
In this one.
Yeah.
Which I also thought was I thought he was okay.
He felt like you know what it made me think of? He felt like a Draco Malfoy in Harry Osborn.
Yes. I just didn't vibe with him as Harry. I don't know if it's because I kept thinking of James Franco, because James Franco's
it probably was. No, I will say that was probably a big part.
Yeah.
I think the other thing was that's a big thing because it was coming from like Tobey. Everyone loved the trilogy.
Everyone loved Tobey Maguire. Yeah.
Like as much as we give Spider-Man 3 shit, we all enjoyed that trilogy so much because we were so invested, right?
Yeah.
Like for 5 years. I think that was probably like it was a big detriment to that.
He's like a handsome guy. I just could not envision him as Harry.
Yeah, I
don't know.
Yeah, it was
like
weird.
All I could think of was like James Franco.
Did he appear? I forgot. Hello? Did he appear in 1 and 2?
I just remember him in 2.
I think it was just in 2. Because I think in 1 it was the big focus was like
the lizard.
The lizard. Because it was like the one thing I thought was weird was they had this huge focus on his parents.
Yeah, they sure did.
That was like an underlying like arc for that whole thing. Because his parents were like, it was like the typical. My parents were like on a trip and they supposedly died.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, it was one thing to be like, oh, they were in a car accident type deal, right? But this was like they like had to leave for a secret trip and they worked for the government.
And then they worked for the government.
They were scientists. This is why Spider-Man's so smart. Like it was like a weird thing. I thought, in my opinion. Like
And also, you get a glimpse into Gwen's family life too, because her dad was like, "Stay away from Peter Parker." Yada yada yada.
He was like, he was like the officer, right?
Yeah.
Because Peter in this one was a delinquent,
which I find great because Andrew Garfield's.
It was a nice change. No, it was a nice change. It was interesting, but it was.
He ain't crying no more.
But I thought it was weird because that's not Peter in my eyes. He is snarky. Andrew Garfield was very snarky and snappy with like his remarks and everything. That was Peter in Spider-Man though. Like Spider-Man's usually that, and then Peter's
early like on. This nerdy boy.
Early on. Yeah, early on he's like nerdy. The modern Peter, like the comic book one, is kind of a mix, a bit more because he's more tenured and more mature.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
I find Spider-Man witty, like super witty. Like he's like quick on his feet with comments.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is that.
Yes.
Is that. Like the car scene. The one where he was like, he's like, he like car robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stopped the robber dude. And I was like, that to me, that's one of Andrew Garfield's iconic moments as Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. Because
that was on trailers all over the place. And it was funny.
Everywhere. He even did in interviews.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It's great.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But I feel like we should totally rewatch some of these just for the fun of it if we have time on the schedule.
No, we won't.
But
we will.
Like, I think it'd be fun to like rewatch some of these because it's like I remember bits and pieces. I remember him being a good Spider-Man, and I remember the lizard and everything. I just felt like everything was drowned in like his family.
Yes, that's what I remember.
Kind of. Actually,
and Gwen, also Gwen too. There's a lot of
like I loved Gwen as like a love interest. I just don't remember. I didn't really have too many gripes on it. Actually, I thought it was the most realistic. It felt like the most like I know Mary Jane was like the girl next door.
Yeah,
like, Mary Jane was like the girl next door, while here Gwen was like the girl, like the I don't know. It just felt like a nicer. It's
just a different version of a love.
No, because I know what it is. Because in the comics, Gwen was like one of those like she matched Peter in that like she was also smart. They like had similar interests in like studies and everything, so it kind of worked. I think that's what helped click. So that's why it was really cool to hear to see that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spoilers. She dies.
She dies in 2. Her dad dies in 1.
Yeah.
That's why he told him to stay away and then strained on their love and blah blah blah.
Blah 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 blah. And then he dies.
And then once he saves her,
that's an iconic scene.
That's the scene. Seeing her fall down,
and then the web not being able to touch her.
Dude, it turns into a hand to try to grab her because he's trying to reach. It grabs her. It gets her.
Yeah, when she freaking hits the ground.
No. I thought it grabbed her, but like she hit the ground, but I thought it also snapped her back.
Did it like snap her back? Right.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that and I was like, I remember seeing it, I'm like, she's dead. And then someone like I was with, I think my cousins, they're like, no, she's fine. He saved her. I was like, bro, I think her head hit the ground too. She's dead.
She did.
But
she did.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man,
that was so emotional. That hit hard.
It hit different.
It was different. Like,
yeah, it sure was.
It was like I think it was like one of those like throughout the whole movie, like they were trying to fix their relationship or something.
Yeah,
it's been a while, but like it became like one of those like they finally like kind of dealt with because the villain in this one was Electro, right?
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
a really bad version of Electro, but
spoiler alert: the new one looks good.
Oh yeah,
the new trailer, like Jamie Foxx looks way better.
Oh no, 100%. He doesn't 100%. Look blue.
I don't know what I get where they're going, but no, still no.
I know. He looked like what is it? Arnold Schwarzenegger's like ice guy from Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought of.
In the original one, yeah.
The original one. I was like, huh?
They made it. It was so weird because he was like some nerd too. And
Yeah.
or so awkward social
Like
person,
the
socially awkward
super
person.
socially
But then he
awkward
got
person.
shocked and everything, gained powers and blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
it was weird. And Harry Osborn was in this one, and it was also a little weird dynamic between
Harry Osborn's Green Goblin also got weird too. Oh, when he turned to Green Goblin, that was also weird.
That was
Like
weird.
he actually had like the hair and everything. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because he had some sort of disease, right? And then he took some.
I think so. Some poison.
Because it was
or
also
something.
focused. Well, no, it was focused on like the. Remember how they were trying to the serum of like they're trying to replicate something, but use animals.
Oh,
'cause
okay, yeah.
That's why they were doing the lizard thing because they're
Yeah.
like, oh, it can regenerate and save lives, blah, blah, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch The Amazing Spider-Man.
it was very focused on like animal testing and like, oh,
Yeah.
why don't we tap into the genetics for animals and like help us as humans like get better or like, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember having fun watching them, but I didn't really. I liked Andrew for being Spider-Man. I liked his Spider-Man.
I liked his Spider-Man too.
I didn't. I was cool with the switch on his Peter Parker, but looking back, I'm like, it was okay.
I think I
It was like
prefer
they're trying to be
Tobey's
different.
Peter.
Yes, Toby's Peter is
Yeah.
obvious to me is way better.
Yeah.
I think Andrew was. They're just trying to make it different.
Yeah. Try and make
Yeah.
him like a little unique.
Yeah, but really quick. So we got through 2. We're gonna take a quick break and talk about our sponsor.
On today's episode, we are sponsored by Anchor. It is a free podcast hosting service that we actually use. We've been using Anchor since we've started the podcast. It's because there are creation tools that allow us to record and edit the podcast right from our phones and computers. A huge plus for us is that Anchor would distribute our podcast to all platforms such as Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and many more. It really is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one spot. Please download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, anchor.fm to get started.
And we're back.
Hello.
Veronica's just been holding up peace signs the entire time.
I know. It was so I could stop talking. All the blood was rushing through. Just kidding.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm kidding.
So we talked about Toby and Andrew. Let's talk about Tom Holland's.
You mean
movies.
the
The
man that spoils everything in every interview? That's why he has a buddy now. I see why.
He has a group every time.
Yeah, or someone latches
someone.
onto him. Yeah, someone.
Yeah.
When he interviews with Benedict, it's so funny. Benedict's like, "Stop it."
Bennett
Don't
looks at
talk.
him.
Yeah, he's like,
Man.
"Don't do it. Don't say it. Don't say a word."
So good. Okay, so Spider-Man. So Amazing Spider-Man 2 was 2014, and
Tom Holland's Spider-Man
Holland's
Homecoming was 2017.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so it was like a 3-year. The biggest gap was probably between Spider-Man 3.
It was Garfield and
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But then like we've honestly had like it's because at that point they were focusing more on like MCU. So
And
they finally got
Tom
Holland.
was like under MCU.
So actually, technically, Tom Holland's first debut would actually be Civil War,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So it's actually earlier than that. Would it not?
Maybe
Like 2016?
I think so.
I
2016.
think 2016, probably. I think 2016. I think
I
that's
think
what it was.
2016.
Okay, we can look it up. Google's the thing.
Google is the thing.
MCU Civil War. Yeah, 2016. All right. Yeah, so that's when they debuted him.
But I love Zendaya. I'm gonna start off that. Zendaya as
start off with
MJ is just great. She's sassy. I love her.
Yes, I agreed with all that. She's great as MJ. Actually, she's hilarious. I think that is a nice twist on MJ. I think it's really funny.
Yeah.
New modern take.
It's
really
not
funny.
like the girl next door, but it's just like the sassy, like
Yeah.
classmate,
Yeah,
the one that judges you.
harshly,
Yeah, harshly.
but silently, but harshly.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man: Homecoming was like we were all worried about Spider-Man because we've just had two. We've
Yeah.
had Toby, we've had Andrew, now we have. But I
Now-
think
now
Civil
here's
War, we're like,
Tom.
I mean, Civil War was like, oh, I like this Spider-Man. He's funny, he's quippy, he's like definitely like high schoolery, like very
His
young.
Peter is very young.
Peter's
like,
very young. Yeah.
Like Tom acts like that like freshman, sophomore high schooler that is like super naive and like doesn't understand
like,
kind of like the adult ways of like doing things.
Like he's actually, it's literally like he captures the that thing with Spider-Man where he has to balance his life, right?
Yeah. School, girls, like homecoming, actually homecoming, like
like actually homecoming though,
yeah,
like dealing with all that.
Yeah.
Because the villain in
his
this one
hot aunt.
Man, what a swap. What a switch.
What a
what a move.
What a move.
This is me.
I remember
I
when
wish I could show
she
you.
came onto the screen, and I think we all I think you and I watched Homecoming together, and I think the whole theater was like, oh.
We're like, whoa. I mean, me too. I was like, whoa.
I was like,
Aunt
May,
I think I looked at someone. I was
now?
like, that's Aunt May. What?
And now there are
Hello?
memes like comparing the aunts.
Yeah, it's really like okay. Like the one in Oh wait, they were both like she. Oh yeah, because the joke was like she was super old technically in
Tobey's.
Yeah, and then in Andrew's it was like older but not
like gray, like Kane old, you know.
And
like
then all of a sudden
mid-50s.
here's like, oh yeah, and then here's like, oh damn.
This is like, she's in her 40s. She
Yeah.
could be a MILF. Like, she
Could
is a
be.
MILF.
I was like, could be. I'm pretty sure like every kid on the block was like, oh yeah, but
this one had Michael Keaton.
yeah, I was like looking down. I
This
was like, Michael Keaton.
This man, he's good.
He was just a Falcon. Okay, like wait, not Falcon. Wait, what was it?
What, the bird guy, right?
I'm second guessing. I thought it was Falcon. Hold on. Vulture. There we go.
He's Vulture. Yeah.
He was the Vulture. Who's not, to me, is not that big of a. He's a big villain. He's like he's big, but he's not like Doc Ock or Mysterio or Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Or like any. To me, it's not that big, but he made work. He made it work. He's like, wait, this guy's actually serious. Like, oh my goodness, this is crazy.
It was funny.
So good.
I found it funny when Tom had to like go over to the house, and then he's just like fumbling around, like meeting the parents. The mom loves him. Then the dad's kind of like in the kitchen cutting stuff. He's like, "What you doing, son?" Like.
At that point, he didn't make the connection here, right? Or did he?
He did.
He did, but not the dad. But not Michael Keaton.
No, the dad did. No.
Oh, the dad did.
Because the dad stopped Peter in the car when MJ got out.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now. Yes. It was. Yeah. I flipped it. Yeah.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, but Peter didn't know. No. Peter was like, "Huh? What?"
That was such a good twist. That was actually a very good twist. Like, dang, that's crazy. To know, like, oh, he's actually the girl that he likes. Like, that trope, like, oh, it's like the guy that your enemy is actually, like, related to someone you like.
Yeah.
Care about. It's crazy.
It is.
I thought Homecoming was a very good addition. Like, very good switch in addition to, like, as a Spider-Man movie. I thought I hit, like, all the beats of, like, oh, he's in high school. He's like trying to be Spider-Man. He's like juggle everything. Yeah. So I thought I captured that very well. I think they went in on that very hard for Far From Home, which came out 2 years later, 2019.
This one had Mysterio in it.
Ending. I say off the bat, the ending was insane. Like, oh my gosh, J. Jonah Jameson was like a thing.
Yeah, it was a thing. I was like, what? Who? Where? Jake Gyllenhaal. No, overall.
Hey man, they got that bromance going.
You know, they do got that bromance.
They got that on-screen chemistry.
They sure do.
I love following like the interviews or like hearing about everyone talking about. It's
so funny.
Yeah, it's so good.
They're so funny.
Yeah.
I thought Far From Home was really good. I liked it a lot.
You liked it? Okay.
Yeah, it was quirky. I think that's the word I was trying to think of. I was like,
very quirky.
How can I?
It definitely went in. It went in on the high school drama though, because this was after the Blip 2.
Yeah.
Because they just came back.
It was like that trip. It was the trip to like London or Paris. They were in Europe. I know they were in Europe.
They were in Europe.
I think London, and then that's where like him and MJ were like, "Hey, I kind of like you." Like, here's my room type deal.
Well,
Like,
there was like that the quote unquote love triangle with like the other dude that like grew up because
Yeah.
of the blip 5 years later,
yeah.
and he was like, everyone's like, ah, they're like.
But then you get
oh,
that scene where like Tom's like changing his shirt and Zendaya's there, and then she has to turn around, and then Tom's being a little awkward kid.
But Tom's also trying to be Spider-Man because like Nick Fury is like guiding the team and everything. I thought that was hilarious too. This is when I was like, okay, this Tom Holland, like all the movies on these just felt cooler because it felt like it was in the MC, like in the Marvel universe, and that like there's other people connect, because Spider-Man has to deal with like a lot of the other characters more often than not, because he's a fan favorite. They always try to bring him in, right? So yeah, no, it was just really cool to see that. It just felt more fleshed out with this one, because Homecoming was like, okay, it's like coming from Civil War and all that.
Oh yeah. And you're like reintroducing Spider-Man again as
but it was
Tom.
focused. But it was focused.
It was very focused. Yeah.
It was focused on him and like his life, while like Far From Home was like it's his life, but also incorporating other people from like the MCU universe.
Yeah. Also, this is where like Iron Man's dead, so Tom had to, or like Peter had to like confront his feelings about that, kind of move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because apparently Iron Man literally just messes with everyone and like just screws over everyone possible, so they become the villain.
Yeah, exactly.
AKA Mysterio, AKA like people, the whole group that helped Mysterio.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so this is a thing. I thought it was a cool twist. I didn't see that coming. I was just like,
very weird. I was like,
curious I was curious how they'd handle Mysterio. Because Mysterio is actually known for like his illusions and tricks, but it's usually on a grander scale.
Yeah, like,
but
Mysterio's a weirdo too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now the whole world knows that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. So
which then leads into
that ends there, and that goes into No Way Home, which is where we're gonna be. Spoiler alert.
We've been spoiling stuff, if anything.
I know,
but
this is like spoilers for like No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time this drops, yeah.
I mean, also, well, I mean, we have a trailer reaction, but we'll just keep talking about it because, we're hyped. That's all. We're just super hyped for Spider-Man No Way Home, which is coming out in a few weeks.
So speaking of, really quick, can we talk about who's appearing in all that?
Yes.
As in every villain?
Every villain that Spider-Man has ever fought.
So Electro, Doc Ock, Green Goblin.
Sandman, Lizard.
And Lizard Man.
Yeah. The lizard guy.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing I just thought of. How are they going to incorporate Harry Osborn?
I don't know. Okay, that was the other thing. So in Tom Holland's, the big focus was Ned was his best friend. So Jacob was playing that. Well, at the time we're like, okay, but that's kind of a mix on
because Ned's supposed to turn into something, right?
On Miles, I don't know about Ned. I remember it was like, I don't remember if it was a play on Miles, his best friend.
Okay.
Remember, like, Miles has an Asian best friend, if I remember correctly.
I think so.
It's been a while. I need to play the game, actually. But, so that was a twist. I don't know how they're going to incorporate Harry. Because they don't really talk about, they never really, so the difference with Tom's Spider-Man compared to the other two is like, they don't put a lot of heavy emphasis on Uncle Ben.
Nope.
They like allude to it, but they also never really, there has not been a Harry Osborn at all.
No.
Osborn, I don't even know Osborn is like a thing.
I don't even know if Osborn.
They might have, and I just forgot. It's been so long since I've read into all this stuff.
Maybe we'll see.
But now there is.
Yeah, I know.
Now there's going to be. It's crazy
because the multiverse is real.
I love it. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. It's great, man. I'm excited.
Like I said in the beginning of this podcast, Spider-Man No Way Home broke every movie theater website for at least an hour and a half. And I cannot believe that happened because I don't remember Endgame breaking any websites. I think it did.
I think it did. But it
just
didn't
don't
take this long.
remember.
It didn't take
just
this
didn't
long.
take this long.
No, but it was down for like an hour, like less than an hour, but it was so
it
long.
felt
Yeah, no.
forever.
I remember having sometimes trouble getting a seat, but most time whenever it dropped, like I'd be sitting at work, I'm like, all right, let's get tickets.
Yeah.
Right, and message our
It
group
was
and go,
just
"All right,
like,
let's go.
maybe it's like my COVID brain and I don't remember Endgame like breaking this many websites. But
I feel like it did, but not. It feels like I don't think at this level. I feel like
yeah,
that's what it feels like. We might be wrong. We probably are wrong. Who
yeah,
knows?
probably.
But it's
the
been a
hype's
while.
real.
But it's been a while
been a
since
while.
sites have broken down because of a movie.
Because Shang-Chi
Like
did not break
MCU.
down
No,
any websites. Eternals didn't. Black Widow was on Disney Plus as well as like movie
I think
theaters.
COVID was like
and
other
COVID
thing,
like hit.
we got
and,
delayed for so long.
Yeah, and I think this movie, like, after the trailer hit, after interviews, I mean, Andrew Garfield has done interviews alongside with, like, all these Spider-Man interviews because he has a movie out, like a musical out on Netflix, and they've asked him if he's going to be in Spider-Man. Yeah,
like,
there's been, yeah, he's like, huh? Spider-Man?
Who?
He's like,
Who's Spider-Man?
what outfit? It's really funny when in interviews, he's like, what outfit?
What's going on?
What's going on?
You can tell that he's done it before.
Yeah.
Right, Tom Holland?
Right, Tom? No spoiler alerts. But it's just like really interesting to see that there's a potential that Andrew and Tobey will come back. I don't want to overhype myself and disappoint myself when I watch it, but I'll be ready.
But it could happen.
And it could happen.
It could happen, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Because I also don't want to hype myself either. But we know all the villains are there. That's something.
All the villains are there. Yeah.
Okay.
There's like a little like theory after the trailer hit that like Marvel has been like cutting scenes.
Oh, dude.
And I'm
like,
sure I know they do it. They've been doing it since like the beginning of time of like since MCU started. But there's just
actually,
really
it was more like Civil War, I think,
Yeah.
onward.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's just like one scene where like Sandman is like coming in, but then you kind of see him get punched on the left.
No, it was Lizard. It was Lizard.
Or Lizard, yeah. You see him get punched on the left, but then like Tom
Nothing's there.
Nothing's there, but
nothing's
then
there.
Tom's like in front, like directly in front of him.
But now that scene's cut out. Like
Yeah, it
you can't-
is. It's cut out in the
not an
TV
official.
spot.
Yeah, it's not anything official.
Yeah.
But it got caught.
It
And I remember
sure
seeing
did.
that on TikTok, and I was like,
It
"Oh
sure
my
did.
god, I'm not gonna."
I'm
When it
trying not
happens,
to
I
think
want to
about
give
it.
myself that moment of like,
Yeah.
"It's a thing." I can't wait.
I
Alright,
can't wait
but-
either.
Before this becomes like more of a, we'll talk more about No Way Home when it drops. We'll
Yeah,
do that whole
couple
podcast. Don't worry
weeks.
about it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
out of the three, can you definitively say you have a favorite Spider-Man so far, though? Or I guess overall, like I know we have this thing. Like we've talked about this for years. So for listeners, we've talked about it in terms of like who's our favorite Peter Parker and Spider-Man. It's
Yeah.
like who's our favorite Batman and Bruce Wayne.
And Bruce Wayne, yeah, which we'll get into later too. You know.
That's another.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
whole
a 2022 issue.
thing.
Yes, I think okay, so I really like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Like
Okay.
he is super witty as a Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great. I also think Gwen is a great love interest to Spider-Man. Too bad there was no Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 3. Good old Andrew got fired, so it's fine.
Damn.
It's fine. As a Peter Parker, I want to say Tom Holland is my favorite Peter Parker.
Okay.
Down. Like, he's just so cute and like high schooly. I don't know. You just love him whenever you see him on screen. Like you can't help but just love the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, he just acts like such like a 17-year-old and just trying to juggle life. It's great.
I agree. No, I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah. How about you? What are your thoughts?
your
I favorite Peter
definitely
Parkers?
I definitely agree when we break it down that way. Like if it's Spider-Man, I also like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man because he's super witty. Like Tom Holland's is witty. He makes remarks. He makes short, like
Yeah.
really quick jokes, quick-witted jokes. I just think
It's like one line.
Andrew has a bigger mouth with that. If you get me, like it sounded
Yeah.
like a bigger mouth for like when you read
He's got
or
a
watch
bigger
certain
attitude.
things. Yeah, there's
His attitude's
like
there.
it's. If anything, there's gotta be more cringe stuff that he says too. Like
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing.
I think
like,
to
it
me, Tom's a little too cute. Andrew was like, I got it. The attitude's there.
Yeah.
The sass is there. It's
The sass is there.
left
Yeah.
open.
Man, Tom Holland's 25. Isn't that crazy? Anyway,
Yeah, man.
but I didn't. It's like a toss up for me. Like I still think Tobey Maguire's like. I think Tom Holland. So Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker is really good, right?
Yeah.
I think I do also agree. Like Tom Holland's. How he had like. You get more of a he has to balance his life more because
Yeah.
like you kind of got that with Toby, but it also kind of felt like, oh, he's in school but he's doing more Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
It felt more like Daily Bugle. Okay, that's the other thing. It felt more Daily Bugle dealings with Toby's like Daily Bugle and like Spider-Man stuff.
Spider-Man stuff.
Like
yeah.
it was like, oh, but he was a high schooler and he was also in college.
Yeah.
So yeah. I want to say I think I like Tom Holland's portrayal overall, like the direction that they're going with.
Overall, yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree.
But you know
I hope
what?
he keeps going. I hope he keeps going for just a
Yeah.
little longer.
I will also say, I think the best movie though
Ooh.
is Into the Spider-Verse.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I
I was like, this man's gonna talk about Into the Spider-Verse.
because it's so good.
No,
okay?
it's really good. No,
It's
it's
just
like really good.
that one's a hard one to. Like, we're keeping this like movie wise because it's live action. While like Into the Spider-Verse, I think is honestly the best portrayal of like
Of
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, wonky like everything happenings.
I agree.
I just wanted to name drop that. In all
Yeah, it's
honesty,
fine. No, I agree with you.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. But cool. I'm excited. I can't wait to see the movie because we're seeing the
same.
movie 100%.
We got
Beautiful.
an episode ready to just go into.
Mm.
Spoiler
Ready.
alerts everywhere. Like, you're not safe on that next episode.
No, we're dropping everything.
Yeah, we dropping stuff.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I
Basically,
got.
from this podcast is that every Spider-Man has an iconic moment. They got memes, but
Oh,
only Tom Holland's got hot on.
I want to see that Spider-Man like pointing at each other meme. I know you've been wanting that. I know
I
you've been
like
talking
really
about
want it.
I want to see it too.
I try to
wanna
forget
see that.
about it, but then the meme always comes back up. I'm like, oh, I can't forget about this. Not until the 17th or the 16th when I can be disappointed.
I guess we'll see. Here's the
We'll
hoping.
see. Here's the hoping.
Here's the hoping.
I got
but-
nothing.
If that's it, then I'm just gonna close it out.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, maybe Twitch, at NgoVo Convo, NgoVo Convo. If you don't know how to spell our last names, Lamau. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button and notification bell to get updates for when we upload. And subscribe.
It's a big red button. The bell's right
Big red
there.
button. Easy.
The like button's right there, not the dislike button. I'm
Actually,
gonna find you and your mom.
That's a whole nother thing. Dislike button now.
Yeah, it is.
We don't see the numbers on that. Or we see the number.
No.
I don't know. You know what? Never mind. I don't know
No.
anymore.
No,
That's a whole nother thing. But
there is no dislike button.
the big thing is let us know how we're doing. What do you want to see next? I don't know. Anything else?
Here for like, what do you want us to
else
watch,
do you
play,
want? Blah, blah, blah.
play? I might be playing games. Oh my god.
Dude, you're going to hype this up and you never play.
No, I'll play
Watch.
games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll play games.
But other than that, bye-bye.
Bye bye.